Did anyone say Summerween? Welcome or welcome back to Francesca's Books. My name is Francesca, these are my books, and here we talk about all things thriller books. I'm your go-to thriller girly, if you will, and today we're going to be talking about some thriller books that are on the creepier end of the scale. I feel like at this time of year you can really just lean into the Summerween vibe. Like, I am obsessed with whoever made Halloween in summer a thing, but we're getting there now, guys. Like, I can feel autumn on its way. Like, I can smell the dark academia of September. We are so close. So I'm going to be picking up some like paranormal thrillers, some creepy thrillers, and almost things that are a little bit more gritty than I would normally read. And I thought, what better place to start than a book that I've had on my TBR since maybe October last year. This was super popular in the fall of 2024, and I've kind of been saving it till I'm in that vibe. And it is We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. I just have such a good feeling about this book. Like, even the cover is gorgeous. So in this, we're following Charlie and Eve, who buy this huge house that needs like a lot of renovations, but it's massive. It has like a nice garden, so they move in, they're all happy, like this is what they do. And then one day this family just turn up on the door and are like, can we have a look around? Like, we used to live here when we were younger, and I just think it'd be nice for like the kids to see where their dad grew up. And Eve answers the door like, absolutely not, like you're complete strangers. But then somehow they manage to talk around. She's like, okay, like a quick 10 minutes and then please leave. And I don't think they do. If you like these kind of reading vlog style videos, don't forget to like this video so I know to keep doing more, and of course to subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, I'm just gonna dive straight in. I've been doing like a Kindle test recently for you guys for my channel, like to test the Kindle itself and the Kindle Paperwhite, which is what I normally read on. But I've been reading this book specifically on the Kindle original, and since there's no like warmth feature, the light is a little bit more harsh than I'm used to on my Paperwhite, which has made this even more intense, honestly. I'm in bed on a night and it's like something from a film, and the light's like bright on my face and I'm like, don't do it. I'm really enjoying in this book, at the end of each chapter, there's like a little excerpt which literally means absolutely nothing to the reader. Like, they are so random, but then you're slowly trying to piece together like, where does that fit in the story that we've already heard or in the future? But they're like newspaper clippings, I think, or they're just like text. Let me show you. Or some of them, this one's like a forum. Like, we have no idea how this relates to any of the story. I am absolutely flying through this book though. Like, I'm really enjoying the actual prose of it. I'm really enjoying this author's writing style. I will just say though that our female main character who let these people in the first place, like, I get why she did it, okay? They were very convincing, but like, you just wouldn't. And then every subsequent decision, I'm just like, girl, you're taking the wrong fork in the road every single time. There was definitely a moment last night when I was reading this as well that I was actually a little bit scared. Like, that takes so much for me in a book. I was a little bit like, I got up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night and I was kind of like, should I? And that hasn't happened since I read Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, like 2 years ago. I think reading this at nighttime is like an essential for me though, because you're really like getting into the vibes. I think if I was reading this like on the beach, it just wouldn't really hit the same. Or maybe if those things kind of do scare you a little bit, then maybe that would be like an easy way to do it. I'm completely overhyping how scary this is. It's not really. It is just very thrillery. But so far it is definitely a hit from me, and I'll keep you updated. Look at this Morse code. I wonder if anyone's translated this. Andrea Mara Easter egg. If you know, you know.
Rhenium is a subspecies of fern native to Western Europe.
This book is so tense. It's got to the part where like, I'm literally on edge. Like, I daren't even show my face right now.
Eve went after the derelict coin. It veered around the display of teach.
Firstly, this book has been intense for maybe like the 50% mark now. Like, it was a little bit of a slow burn. Like, it really gave that setup that I think a horror book specifically for me needs. But now we are like we're deep in the action. I'm also going to be straight up with you that the chapters are not that short in this book. They are a lot longer than my normal like quick flick through thriller books. But I have been dipping in and out of the audio because in between some of these slightly longer chapters, we have these like really short chapters that are like documents that we don't really know how relate to like the main story. They're kind of like newspaper reports about the area, like documents about people who have seen things, documents that are from like doctors who are like, actually this patient sounds legit. But when you're listening to it on audio, there's a little jingle at the end. And the first time I put this on in the car this morning, it did this jingle at the end. I was literally shook. But I'm really excited to see how these like come together with our main story. It feels like the kind of book like they might actually not just come together. They might just be there for like a bit of context and to add a little bit of like reality almost to the story. Since this is like a paranormal thriller slash horror, I don't know whether there's going to be any like really big twists in it. So I'm quite hesitant to tell you about like what's happening in the main plot, because I feel like if there's then no twist, I've basically just explained the entire book to you. So far I'm at 78%, and boy, I am having a fantastic time. This is one of the best paranormal thriller books that I've read in a long time. I think the other one that really was up there for me was The September House, and this is definitely rivaling that for me. Also, if you picked up books like Incidents Around the House by Josh Malerman recently, I feel like this has a completely different vibe of a horror paranormal thriller than We Used to Live Here, which is what obviously I'm reading now. This is like intense, it's like gripping, it's like you really want to know more. Incidents Around the House was like creepy for the sake of being creepy, and there was a plot, but it felt very like, I don't know, like a bit of nothingness, in my humble opinion. So I'm gonna finish this now. Hopefully it'll get dark so I can be like really creeped out by the end. We Used to Live Here was one of the most effed up books I've read in so long, to the point where I literally had to Google what the hell was going on. I am literally so lost for words on how much I love this book. It was a 5-star. We have started this vlog off on such a strong foot, honestly. This just came out of left field. Like, I didn't expect to enjoy it this much. Like, you guys know, I'm pretty much 80% psychological thriller. I'm gonna dabble in horror, I'm gonna dabble in romance with the other 20%. Very occasional contemporary. So I wasn't really sure how this was gonna land. I feel like it kind of was marketed like a thriller. So I was a bit like, I think this is the one I'm gonna enjoy most out of like the books in this vlog, but I didn't expect it to be that good. After our family like want to be shown around and our main characters are struggling to like get rid of them, the plot takes a very different direction, which I'm not going to tell you at all because I highly recommend that you go and read this book yourself, so I won't give away anything else aside from that. It just goes somewhere that I didn't really think it would go, but I think my favourite part about this book completely is the fact that when I finish and I did a little bit of research to connect some of the dots, which I didn't feel like were wrapped up, but now on reflection I do feel like they were wrapped up. I just missed the clues, and once I'd done that research I was like, this is just such a knockout. And it had the tiniest little details. Okay, this isn't a spoiler, there is literally Morse code at the end of some of the diary entry, like professional entries that I was telling you guys about. I didn't even spot it, and these people online have gone and decoded the whole thing, and I'm like, as if, like literally, think about a book being that intricate and in-depth that this Morse code on the pages I didn't even notice. I just went down such a rabbit hole with this book. I think people are going to ask me in the comments whether this is paranormal, yes or no, and if I had to strictly answer I would say yes, but I would say go into it with a very open mind. It wasn't like, oh, I already have that. I have this book I'm about to tell you about. It wasn't like Incidents Around the House paranormal. This is just a paranormal book. This may as well just be a film. We Used to Live Here is so much more complex than that and reads so well on page and also on audio. Those little beeps at the end that I was telling you guys about that literally just scared the Jesus out of me, I think that was the Morse code. Either way, highly recommend. I've literally ordered a paperback copy that's going to be delivered tomorrow, so by the end of this vlog I will probably have all of these books in physical paperback or hardback. This is a book that I know I'm going to recommend so much over spooky season, so you best be ready. And then the next book that we're going to read in my super creepy, super scary, not really, Summerween vlog is Graveyard Shift by ML Rio. This is a very short little, I think novella technically. It's 140-ish pages, 130 pages. Either way, and this follows a group of people who meet outside like a university campus on a cemetery every night for like a cigarette, and then one night I think either a grave has been dug randomly one night or they find an empty grave, something like that. Because of how short this is, I haven't actually read the synopsis because I really wanted to like not really know anything apart from that going in. I feel like that's enough for a book of this length. I have a completely free evening tonight, so I think I probably will just be able to read this in one go. I don't know. I have quite high hopes for this author because they wrote If We Were Villains, which is like one of the staples of the dark academia genre. Not that I have read it. I feel like maybe I should do like a dark academia reading vlog, because also if I've never read They Never Learn, I have that one too. So this is the new cover that has just been released in the UK. This is the US version. This wasn't even published in the UK until recently, and I saw it in Waterstones the other day and I was like, but anyway, this is dark academia, so I think I'll probably read If We Were Villains, this, maybe some other dark academia picks. Let me know if you guys have any good like dark academia books that you recommend. I've read like The Secret History. I've also read In My Dreams We Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. What else is there in this space? Any recommendations, let me know. And without further ado, let's go.
I wasn't going to film today, but I had this sneaking suspicion, maybe, that they might have some Halloween bits in TK Maxx. Wait, so I show you. It is July 4th today.
We just know. They just never disappoint. Like, who is this diva? These are literally the biggest Summerween vibes ever. I am so tempted to get this.
I think I'm going to have that aneurysm.
Are you kidding?
Oh, you guys, I took that way too far, okay, before I show you my haul, and I don't know if you're going to be impressed or disappointed. I had absolutely no self-control. I have just been taking some photos with my 200,000 followers cake for TikTok. Like, are you kidding me? 200,000 followers blows my mind. So I thought I'd show you the nice little decorated cake whilst I had it right here. You best believe I'm gonna have a slice of this now while I am reading my book for this vlog, because I'm not very quick at all to like celebrate these things. I'm just like, oh yeah, like that's fine, that's nice, like, you know, like a few thousand people like my book recommendations. Like, damn girl, like, be proud of yourself for once. So, the haul. The fact I just needed to do 2 trips up the stairs. It's not looking good. I also think the worst part of this is that it's all Summerween. It's not even Halloween. You're gonna see what I mean, one second. Oh, firstly, actually, I forgot I got some books in TK Maxx as well, because I was getting way too excited with the decorations. I managed to pick up 2 Abby Jimenez books, which I haven't read. I've only actually read her part of Your World series, despite me going on and on and on about how she's one of my favourite romance authors ever. Haven't even read these, and they were $3.99 each, so picked those up. And then also next door in the works, I picked up Ward D. I obviously have this and have read it when it came out, but I thought it was another good one for my boyfriend to read next. He read The Silent Patient and The Housemaid while we were on holiday and loved both of them, but was like, I was really interested in The Silent Patient because like it's mental health, mental illness stuff that was in it as well. And I thought, what's another like easy read? I didn't want to throw him straight into Lucinda Berry, like I didn't want to scare him, so I thought this was the next good pick. Anyone else got any other ideas? Okay, and now to the good stuff. I think this first one is my favourite thing that I got. This isn't Summerween, this is just beautiful. It is a snow globe of books and a cat. I feel like this could sit on my shelves all year. Oh, there we go, you get the full effect. Can you see all that? Can you just see me in reflection? I don't know if it makes noise too. Oh my god, how creepy is that? Do I love it or do I hate it? Imagine this starts playing in the night. Anyway, okay, now on to Summerween. Okay, you're not ready for this. You're just not. No words. How cute is this? Look at the little rosy cheeks. This is like the ultimate Summerween thing. A pink pumpkin! Right, I'm not gonna lie to you. This diva that I'm going to show you next was a complete waste of money, okay? The rest of the stuff's like, oh yeah, a little bit decorative, a little bit Summerween, like, you know, little pillows, all this. This was just a pure slay. Who is she? She is so freaking cool. So badly painted, I just don't even care. Like, she's a diva, like, she was coming home with me. What should we call her? Name the ghost. Okay, and then I also got this gorgeous candle. Oh my god, like, are you kidding me? Ignore the tag. Let me get her in focus. There we go. How cute is that? Little headstones in the background, and just gorgeous. Smells delicious. Okay, now is where it gets a bit irresponsible. Thought we were irresponsible before. We weren't. So I got this blanket with ghosts on, but they have bows on. Ah. Okay, so in a minute when I go read my book and continue vlogging, she'll be like this. She's reversible! Oh, this is the best day of my life. Okay, and then to go with her, I got these pink cushions with ghosts on. When I told you I went too far, I went too far. I'm aware. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to put this stuff in here or like in my actual living room. I currently live on my own and don't live with my boyfriend yet. There is plans, guys, stay tuned. However, right now I'm feeling like I can just get away with this, like fully decking out the living room. Like, I don't think that would fly after. But then also I spend a lot of time in here, so I don't know, we'll see. And then the final thing I got, because it goes with like the blanket and the pillow, I just got a little cute ghost. Because I just thought if I have like these 2 pillows, she's kind of like the middle pillow. Maybe I'm just clinically insane, who knows. So those were the bits that I got. I am honestly obsessed. Last year as well for my birthday, my brother and his girlfriend got me like a spooky season mug, but since my birthday's in July, it was like a Summerween one, so it's like completely pink and has the little staying alive ghost on it. I think I've had it in other videos, but it's super cute and it's just gonna go with this stuff so well. I'm all snuggled with the ghost blanket, the ghost cushions, and I'm just living for the Summerween vibes this year. I feel like I've taken it so far and I just don't care. So I read literally 1 chapter in bed last night. So I don't really have many updates in terms of like what I think so far, because so far I don't really think anything. We've just been introduced to our main set of characters that meet in this cemetery every night for like a cigarette break. And I do think this is a really cool concept. I'm not sure how much of a story we're going to get out of like 120 pages, but we shall see. I'm just under halfway through and I'm actually really enjoying this. Like, we've got a really good little group dynamic going on, and the characters are kind of like being introduced with other people in their lives as well. So the main crux of this book is that they're going to try and find this mystery grave digger, or the person around this grave incident, like the literal grave incident that we are referring to, not a metaphorical one. I think this is really well written though, like the actual prose of the writing, having a fantastic time with. It feels like a very easy read, and where we used to live here was kind of like a paranormal / tension building horror thriller. This is more like gory, graphic horror, but not in an extreme way, don't get me wrong, but in that's more the focus of the book as opposed to there being like a spooky element. But I'm enjoying the mystery element of this as well. We don't know much about the person with the grave incident, but we're getting to know a little bit more about like the main 5 characters in this story, and I'm really enjoying their dynamic as well. I think you can even tell from this book what type of horror thriller this is going to be. So I'm like 2/3 of the way through and I'm going to head up to bed and hopefully finish this before I go to sleep. I really wish that this was a longer, like full length book instead of a novella, because in these 120 pages, I feel like these characters could just be fleshed out so much more, and like this entire plot line is really good, but it's going to be wrapped up in the next 40 pages. So I'm a bit gutted about that. This is absolutely making me think I would like If We Were Villains. I haven't read this author's other book, which is like a dark academia book. I think it's similar to The Secret History by Donna Tartt from my understanding. So I think I will be giving that a read after this. Maybe not in this vlog though. We're still on Summerween vibes. Serious question. Do you guys judge me for how large I have the font on my Kindle? I feel like I would judge me if I saw this. This is the setting that I have it on. I actually have it on the dyslexic font. This actually helps me read quite a lot easier, even though I'm not dyslexic. I think it's just because it's larger and more pronounced. I don't know. And I have on size 9. I feel like that's the thing that most people are going to disagree with. But there we go. Maybe, just maybe, I actually need glasses. I don't know. We'll go large font for now. Hello friends, I finished a graveyard shift last night, but my eyes were closing on the last page. I was like, I'm gonna give you guys this review in the morning. Also, peep my new friends, okay? This diva we have already met and loved. She is, of course, from my Summerween haul. And these guys, I guess, I went down to London for Amazon Prime Day and won them in a claw machine. I was like, yeah, you're coming home with me. They are literally just so freaking cute. I think they might stay there, I don't know. Maybe I'll put them somewhere else. Anyway, graveyard shift. So as you guys saw whilst I was reading this book, I really liked this like group of main characters. I also really like the concept, but my issue with it is without this being long, I just can't rate it like as highly as I would want to, because there were so many plot points that like could have been delved into so much. Like this deserves a full-length novel. There were so many like little details on like the wrongdoings and the goings on around the central point of this story, and there were so many more characters that could have been like super developed. Like they were really compelling characters, you just didn't really know enough about them to like really back them as people. But from a 120 page book, like you're only ever going to get so much. This book has had a little bit of criticism from what I've read after I've written like my Goodreads review, and I think people are just of the same opinion that it's not really like that fleshed out. But I'm kind of here like, well, what did you expect? Like it's for 110 pages. But I guess for me, because I really liked it as is, it was almost a little bit frustrating that we didn't get more of this story. So I'm not really even sure where I can land on a star rating for this, because I did not like it. I almost liked it so much I wish there was more. I will say in terms of Summerween, it's a lot less paranormal spooky than I anticipated, and a lot more just like atmospheric, and I'm hesitant with the word gory because it's not, but like that kind of horror as opposed to like, yeah, like paranormal horror thriller. I do already have If We Were Villains, so I'll definitely be giving this book a go, more like dark academia season. So the next book that we're going to dive into is a book I'm very excited about. It's just been released and everybody that I really respect in the like thriller, horror, bookish community has rated this so highly. So my expectations are through the roof. I was quite keen to not read like another haunted house style book, which I think in essence We Used to Live Here was that, although they are some of my favourites. Next up is Whistle by Linwood Barkley. I'm not gonna lie to you, after Graveyard Shift's like tiny length and me saying, oh yeah, maybe this should be a bit more fleshed out, this book is 420 pages. and it's in hardback, so you know I'm going to be a committed girly whilst I'm reading this. Do you know, I think I'm converting, guys. Honestly, I feel like I have been reaching for a hardback recently. I don't know what is wrong with me. I think maybe because the text is bigger. I keep saying this, I'm about my Kindle font size and everything, like maybe I just need to go to the opticians. So immediately the concept of this, I was like, sorry, what? But then when I've read the reviews, they're absolutely stunning. So this basically follows a haunted train set, like a literal toy train set that's haunted. But I think because the concept is so unique, that's why people are loving it. I think I'm not going to read too much on the synopsis, and I'm just going to literally just dive straight in and just give you my opinions as we go. Christmas come early. This is literally so good so far. I'm only 10% in and it is really good. Peep my ghost number 1, ghost number 2, ghost number 3. You can tell we're in the right place here. But I've had to start listening to it on audio because I've got to get the house tidied up and crack on with other stuff. But the fact that I've switched to the audio because I really want to like learn more about this book is extremely promising. So I'm listening to this on BookBeat, which I do have a 2-month free trial code for anyone in the UK. I do listen to most of my audiobooks on BookBeat. Sometimes I'll go on Spotify if they don't have it, but the catalogue is pretty good. And I do feel like it has the best value in terms of like catalogue versus price. So if you're interested, you can go and see exactly what's on there. It's not been very spooky so far, but I'm also not mad. I prefer like more of a setup, like it's almost like thriller style this one feels like. So we've had like a prologue that's kind of creepy about this train set that we're going to be following. It just makes me laughing, the concept. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, but as a concept, it's kind of funny. And then we've completely jumped to a different city, a different cast of characters and a different situation. So I thought we were going to follow the initial setup. Turns out we are not. So I'm guessing this train set is going to have made its rounds amongst lots of people and impacted a lot of people's lives. Hello friends, so I'm still going with Whistle, but I wanted to give you a little update. I am only maybe like halfway through. However, I feel like this book is marketed as a haunted train set, okay? And that kind of is what the principle is of the story. But it is so much more than that. I thought I was getting myself in for like a story where a kid buys a train set, it's slowly haunted, he sees some ghosts, and then maybe someone's unalived. I don't know. That's what I was expecting. It does feel like quite a long book for that to be like the only concept, but we open with a prologue, which is kind of what it says on the tin, like what I just described, for like a few pages. That's it. Then we dive into this other story of this journalist who wants a fresh start. So her and her son move to like the suburbs, and you get an insight into their story. Now we're in a completely different location, a completely different town, where we're following like a chief detective and following his version of events. Not even necessarily with the train still. And so far it's not really paranormal. I won't say any more than that because I feel like any more than that may give things away, but it's not particularly spoilerish even to this point, like kind of just we're going through the motions, but I would very much describe this as a thriller, not a horror, to those who are wondering. So I think I'm going to fly through the rest of this, honestly, even though it's hardback. I've been having a fantastic time reading it. So I'm about to finish Whistle, but honestly, I've been a little bit freaked out while reading it because I actually do live near a train station, and when I have the windows open at night, because it's been quite hot in the UK, you best believe I can hear the trains whistling. I am loving the fact that this feels more thriller than horror though, for 100%. There's even like a detective character that I'm very much enjoying his point of view. What in the helly was that? What I didn't expect from the end of this book was to feel sad. I don't know. This was one of the most brilliantly crafted horror thriller books that not only have I ever read, just in general, I feel like this one is going to go down in the history books as one of the go-to in this genre. The ending was incredibly intense. I very much enjoyed it. There was just so much tension, suspense, especially through the last few chapters. But due to the nature of this just naturally leaning more into the horror genre, I think for me as a through and through thriller girl, it was missing some sort of like plot twist. There was some small plot twist, but I think I'm just so used to the big reveals like making my rating jump up to a 5-star if I really enjoy like the surprise element of it as well. But honestly, this was wonderful. I had a fantastic time. I do think it could have been maybe probably even up to 100 pages less, honestly. I do feel like in the middle there, it wasn't dragging, like all the information was really useful to the plot of the story. I just feel like maybe it could have been condensed a little. But I guess it is a 430 page book, so maybe that's just my natural affinity to shorter books. And for that reason, this gets 4.5 stars and a very well-deserved 4.5 at that. So these are the 3 books that we read in this vlog. I feel like this has been really successful overall. It's been a bit of a taste test into more horror-y books. I do feel like some of these I would describe as thriller, some of them as horror. I feel like there's so many crossovers with these two genres that it's kind of hard to differentiate sometimes. But by a landslide, my favourite was We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. This was wonderful. I gave The Graveyard Shift 3 stars, but not because I didn't enjoy it, just because I wished that this was a full-length story. It really fell short towards the end, and I just wished that it had been fleshed out into a full novel, because I really could have got on board with these characters, having known more about them. And then of course Whistle got a 4.5, and I think that the characters were so well developed in this and had these incredible backstories as well as these point of view switches. It was so much more fleshed out than I was expecting. So I hope you enjoyed getting into these Summerween vibes with me. I'm definitely going to be on a dark academia kick next. I can just feel it. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I cannot wait to see you next time.